Microphone check, microphone check. Everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right. Welcome to another edition of Minority Real Estate Millionaires. I am your host, Mr. Ray, and I'm going to be talking to you today about 5 ways to get paid in real estate. Count that, 5 ways you get paid in real estate. I don't know any other job or asset or anything else where you get paid 5 ways, baby. So I'm gonna take you guys through this and see if you can get excited about real estate. That's what I want you to do, is to get excited as I am about real estate. Let's get this party started here. So our agenda for today: 5 ways we get paid. And I was going to review the Madison property. Still may do that, but I want to make sure first I can get through these 5 ways we get paid, okay? So, we talk about assets. There's different asset classes. Real estate is just one of those asset classes. And so when you look at stocks, in stocks, you buy them low and you want to sell them high, and that way you get the difference between what you bought and what you sold. That's how you get paid in stocks. You also get paid quarterly. Some companies, very mature companies, they will pay you a certain amount of their earnings back in dividends. Bonds, if you buy a bond, corporate bond, they sell those and they pay you a certain amount of interest on those. So that's the way that you get paid on bonds. Gold and silver, you buy it low and sell it high, and you get the difference. That'll be your profit. So I want to talk today, though, about the 5 ways we get paid in real estate. But before I do that, I want to talk just a little bit. I want to touch on this idea about taxes and the capital gain taxes. There's several ways, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but I'm just going to share with you a couple of things that you might want to be aware of. There's short-term gains, long-term gains in real estate. On short-term gains, that interest that you pay, the amount of taxes that you pay on short-term could be anywhere between 0 and 20, depending upon the amount that you gain. If you held an asset, the IRS says that it could be, especially when you talk about your personal home, if you hold that for 2 of the last 5 years, you won't have to pay any long-term capital gains on that. On your home, if you're married, you get to the first $500,000 of that is non-taxable. If you're single, it's $250,000. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. And then when we talk about depreciation, we're going to talk a lot about depreciation today. I want to make sure you guys ask me some good questions. There's negative depreciation, and that's the depreciation that, like on your cars, your furniture, anything you own pretty much depreciates. As it gets older, it's worth less. We call that negative depreciation. But when you're talking about real estate, I use the term called positive depreciation, because the IRS will allow you to receive a credit on your income taxes for this depreciation on real estate. So we'll talk about that later. Just want to give you a quick heads up on that. Of course, the thing that makes real estate different from any other asset, income producing asset, is that banks will allow you to use leverage. That is, they would allow you to borrow money to buy real estate. They won't let you borrow money to buy stocks. They won't let you borrow money to buy bonds. They will only let you borrow money to buy real estate. And I like to call it other people's money. That's how you get rich, when you're using other people's money. And so in real estate, that's what we're doing. We're leveraging other people's money. We're leveraging the bank's money to have an asset that's worth $100,000 that we only have $20,000 of our money in. So that's how you use leverage. So what are the 5 ways we get paid? That's what we came to hear, Mr. Ray. You need to tell us how we're going to get paid 5 ways. It doesn't sound like that's feasible or possible, but I'm here to tell you that it is. First way you get paid is property appreciation. Then you get paid with the loan paydown. You get paid with the increased equity as the house improves in value. There are also tax benefits that you get paid. And then lastly, and certainly not least, my favorite, cash flow, baby. You get paid with cash flow. So I want to talk about each one of those in detail and make sure that you understand you're getting paid 5 ways, baby. And you need to understand how you're getting paid. So the first one we want to talk about is property appreciation. That means when your property goes up in value, we call that appreciation. Real estate is really one of the few assets that appreciates over time. Again, when you talk about cars and things like that, the moment that you drive them off the lot, if you bought it brand new with 0 miles on it, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. That means if you bought it for $20,000, if you turn right around, took it back to the lot, and asked the car dealer to give you your money back, he's going to say, it's only worth $19,000. That's what we call depreciation. But in real estate appreciates in value. The home that I bought 10 years ago is worth more today. That's the appreciation. In fact, the longer that you hold real estate, the more that it increases in value. So the properties that I bought 20 years ago, they have almost doubled in value since I bought them. And that's the beauty. And that's why I love real estate, baby, because it's always appreciated. One of the things you also need to know about real estate is that the average price increase on single family homes, that's what we're investing in as minority real estate millionaires, increases plus or minus 1 to 5% annually, right? On the average. Now, that doesn't mean all houses, doesn't mean all neighborhoods. It just said on the average, most houses will increase in value, some more than others. Example, you bought a house on January 1, 2019 for $100,000. On January 1, 2020, 1 year later, that house could possibly be worth $110,000. You have a $10,000 increase in appreciation in that property. And that's where we talk about, okay, what percentage of my appreciation? I like to use 1 to 5%. That's kind of what houses normally appreciate at. But if it's in a depressed area, it may not appreciate much. But if it's in an area where people are really wanting those houses, they're driving the prices up, and that means that the value of your house goes up also. So the better the neighborhood, the better the school district. You got shopping around, good highway system. All those things add up and say that you're going to have a property that's going to be appreciated. So as we continue talking about property appreciation, now these values are not guaranteed to go up. I'm just saying to you that typically and normally they go up. They're not guaranteed to go up. But it's the property values and the appreciation all is determined about the condition of the properties that's in proximity to your property, and also what the value of those properties are and what people are buying and selling those houses for. And one of the things that we're going to teach you how to do comparative market analysis, where you're going to find out what the properties in the areas are worth, and it'll help you determine how your properties are doing. And in fact, when you're buying properties, how to make sure that you're getting a good deal on property. Again, we already said that property values have risen over the last 10, 20 years in real estate about 1 to 5% on average a year. But at the same time, as property values go up, guess what else goes up? Property taxes go up. So the government says as your value goes up, we're going to want some of that money in our piggy bank. So as your property goes up in value, so will your property taxes. So I want to stop right there and ask any question. The first way we get paid is property appreciation. Are there any questions? Everybody understands that.
Appreciation.
So I couldn't hardly hear you.
Yeah. What can you do to add to your property's appreciation value or to help it out?
You can rehab it, which is what we do. We bring them up to value. You can add roofs. You can add storm windows. You can add granite countertops. You can add tile. All these things that you do to upgrade your property, those help appreciate the property. Because when the guys come around and they're appraising that property, they're looking at what condition it is. They're looking to see if you got the latest upgrade. You know, if you still got them old cork countertops, if you still got those old wooden pane windows, I mean, that's going to decrease the value of your house. But if you got up-to-date energy efficient windows, you got top of the line roof, you got, I mean, all those things that they're looking for, you can increase the value, but it's going to cost you. What other questions? All right. Now let's talk about the second way that we get paid. The second way that you get paid in real estate is by the loan pay down. We talked about how you can use the bank's money to buy these properties. You put 20 down, they'll finance the other 80 on a $100,000 house. The great thing about this particular loan pay down is that your tenants are actually paying the loan down for you as they pay the rent. So let me give you an example here. So I always like to use $100,000 because that's a nice, easy number for everybody to know. So let's assume you have a $100,000 loan, 5% for 20 years. The payment on that is going to be $659.96. That's the principal and interest that you'll be paying on that loan, right? So your first year payments, if you look at your first year payments, if you have an amortization schedule, it will show that you pay that $659 over 12 months was $7,919 roughly. And of that $7,900, $4,900 was interest and $2,900 of it was principal. So you actually paid down that note, that $100,000 note, you paid it down $2,900. That other $4,900 did not go to reducing the amount of that loan. So in this case, you had a $100,000 loan. After you deducted the $2,900 in principal you paid the first year, you now only owe $97,000 on that property. That's what we call loan pay down. Think about that. So now you have reduced that principal, that $100,000 down to $97,000. Now you have $2,900 in loan pay down. Any questions on that? So that's the second way you get paid. Remember, you're not paying that. Your tenants are paying that money. You're getting the benefit of it though, because your loan is being paid down by somebody else. Questions, comments? All right. Now, the third way that we get paid is what we call equity increase. So as the house is appreciating, it's going up in value, the loan is being paid down, the difference between those two is the equity that you have in the property. So that's another way that you get paid. So the equity is simply the difference between the market value of what that property is and the loan balance, right? We just talked about, you had $100,000 that you had in the property. That's what it's worth. You paid it down the first year. So the difference is what you have in that equity increase. It appreciated, paid the loan down, you got equity. So let's